Good morning, Michael Walsh here, Norwal Farm with Roger Norgel. It's Sunday, February the 16th. We turned the number 8, or number 15's her number, but she's the 8th one on her side there. Turned her out, actually I turned her out yesterday, and it's probably a day too soon because the lamb was only a day old. And I wasn't pleased last night with how they were doing. So I put him back in the bonding pen overnight, and he's doing much better today. He was actually trying to play with the other lambs a little bit. So she's out, gives us a little more room. We just have this ewe and these two yet to go in this group. Goats have settled down. I think a lot of that aggression issue before, part of it was social order, but I think that pyrethrin poron actually agitated them a little bit because they've really settled down. And I don't see hardly any, just the normal amount of scratching, you know, just like people. We get an itch or every once in a while we scratch it. So there was some snow and ice going off the building. But these gals have settled down. They're due to start kidding in about, I think, 4 days. And it's supposed to be really cold then. So filled the hay feeders again. A full feeder lasts these about 2 days. We had about 6 inches of snow yesterday, and then it's really windy today. It's blowing pretty hard. It's in the 20s, but that wind makes it really cold. But it's decent in here. It's about 28, and so that's a comfortable temperature. On a side note, we're going to be getting a new puppy in April. We have a Vizsla copper. He's 10. Then we have Chloe, who I believe is 4 now, little Chihuahua mix. And they've always been with other dogs. They've never been by themselves. And Copper had some health issues a couple years ago. He had to have surgery. I did surgery to remove an intestinal mass. It actually was inflammatory tissue. So he has inflammatory bowel disease and has been on medication since then. His liver values are now elevated, and he's slightly anemic. So he's losing a little bit of weight, so we're kind of thinking, you know, it's not going to be a whole lot longer. Hopefully we get another year. We're going to get a Australian Kelpie puppy, and got pictures of the mother and the dad, and the litter. They were born this past week. They're 10 in the litter, and I'm not sure of the proper color terminology, either called blonde or yellow. But anyway, we should be picking her up in April. So just a little heads up, and it's going to be fun training a herding dog. We don't need one a lot, but there are times when it would be helpful to have a herding dog. So we thought, yeah, why not? We'll get a puppy and integrate it into the pack. It'll be a house dog as well as a herding dog. The dogs stay in the laundry room. They have their own area in there. So we'll get her incorporated and get her into the group. And that way Chloe, when Copper is no longer here, Chloe will have another housemate. So we're going to go out and do the outside chores now. Down here checking the stock at the run-in shed after we rearranged their sleeping quarters, if you will. Or actually their outside paddock. They're doing well. The number 2 twins. This one that still has its tail, he's actually pretty tame. I don't know if he's going to come up to me now. He's looking for a meal. We named him Beany and Cecil. The one over here, he was so little and floppy-eared when he was born. For some reason, I just called him Cecil. So if you remember the cartoon from years ago, I'm dating myself here. It was a cartoon called Beany and Cecil. So Beany and Cecil. And Beany's he's the tamer one of the two. He'll probably come over to me. Come here. Yeah. He likes his chin scratched. His chest rubbed. He's interested in milk right now, but every time I come out here, immediately he walks up to me, and I always reward him with a chin scratch. This is his mom, 21. She's more tame than the rest of them, but there we go. He just comes up and he likes a chin scratch, face rub. Yeah, she's calling for a meal right now, so that takes priority. She's been a really good mom. The ewes have had their grain, and usually once they eat their grain, then they call the lambs and have them nursed. Creep station's working well. New feeder, you can see they've been eating out of that, so keep some fresh green there. I haven't filled it real full because I want the green to stay relatively fresh. But they've been helping themselves too on the portion that we give out for the ewes. They kind of sneak in there too, so they're really going to the green very well. Ewe lambs ate the balance of their hay yesterday. They got just a little bit left, so that worked out well. These ladies still have the top half. I usually make them eat half of that down and then before I put new in. We'll give the rams some additional hay today. We got a bunch of doelings in heat today. They're standing there at the gate. You can see them between the building and Joel, the black belly there. So I reinforced the wires on that because we don't want any more accidental breedings. So we'll get these guys some hay, and then the doelings and the ewes out in the field, I had just a little bit of hay to theirs. They've got about probably a third of what was in there yesterday. So we'll give them just a little bit more to top it off and have them finish that. If you're out of the wind today, it's not bad, but boy, that wind is just really, really brutal today. Callum, where he's at, he loves this weather. He'd rather have this weather than warm summer weather. So, oh yeah, here we go. He's back up here chewing on my pant leg. That's the way he comes up and lets me know he's here. So he's being quite the pet. Like I said, his brother is somewhat tame, but not nearly so much. So anyway, beautiful Sunday today, and it's supposed to get really cold the next few nights. So we're all set up for that. Hopefully we don't get any baby goats during that super cold weather. I think the first ones are due in about 4 days. You can see Callum out there getting into the, actually just getting out of the feeding station. He went in there to eat, so they're doing well in this cold weather. Thanks again for joining us at Norwal Farm.